Hey all, Mark Slane with the United States Krav Maga Association. Today talking about why Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu isn't enough for the streets. Please don't think I'm bashing BJJ. My job is truly to make people safer. My job is to educate people on self-defense. When people come to me to learn self-defense, I truly look at it as they're putting their lives in my hands. I'd better be educated on the subject. I'd better be teaching the best stuff I can come up with. Because again, truly, what I'm teaching them could save their lives, or if I'm not teaching them correctly, it could cost them their lives. So we take this serious. Again, not bashing BJJ at all. In my Krav gyms that I owned, I always had a BJJ class in those gyms. BJJ is fascinating to me. It is totally cool. Those people are in shape. They know their bodies. They know leverages. It amazes me how they can just look so relaxed as they're doing their matches. It's just totally a cool thing. I've had my son right now in BJJ. To me, there's nothing better for a schoolyard bully, one-on-one type of situation. However, the whole philosophy of BJJ is to patiently control until you can submit. Right off the bat, to me, that can't be self-defense. You know, as I'm patiently controlling this guy, his friend shows up and kicks me in the head. I've known of a couple of high-level BJJ guys who were taking care of the dude that was the problem. The dude's buddy comes up and kicks him in the head, and one of them was knocked out, one of them broke a jaw. It's just, every scumbag has a scumbag friend close by. So to assume that there's not a second attacker is dangerous. And, you know, also, if the guy on the ground that you're on the ground with produces a blade, boom, you're in trouble. Again, I know another high-level BJJ practitioner that had a guy, wrapped him up, looking good, till the guy drew a knife and stabbed him 7 times. You know, the only reason he's alive is that none of those stabs hit anything major. To me, this is a sin that so many law enforcement are embracing ground. You don't want on the ground. Again, the scumbag has a friend. The scumbag produces a weapon. You know, in BJJ, they pin people while they're on their back, which cops should be doing the opposite. They should be pinning them face down. In BJJ, they pin them while they're on their back to give the guy on the bottom a better chance. So law enforcement certainly shouldn't want to be giving the guy on the bottom a better chance. You know, they want their competitions to last longer, to take more skill. Again, right off the bat, the reason that this has been being brought up at all is I just posted my video on can a woman whoop a man, and I had several BJJ people tell me, oh, I see women, tap out guys all the time. Okay, this just think about that. When you take away all the when you put a bunch of rules in and take away everything that the guy can use his superior strength and size, well, yeah, then it is a skill game. Certainly, you can tap out a guy, but think about a tap out. Basically, that's breaking his elbow. Does that stop him? It may produce enough pain, but if you study, the effects of adrenaline, the effects of that chemical dump you get when you're under stress, I've seen guys swinging an arm that's snapped and hanging down. They don't feel it. You're not going to feel that pain. Again, certainly it might stop them, but then again, it doesn't kill them. I mean, as soon as you snap an arm, you've got to reposition because that arm's already snapped. He still has 3 other appendages. Now he's really upset. To me, that's just not the end goal. Knocking the scumbag out is the end goal, and he's not fighting anymore, in my opinion. Truly, it cannot be a self-defense system if it's got rules. If, in BJJ you can't punch, kick, knee, bite, headbutt. You can't grab somebody by the hair and slam their head into the ground or into a wall. You can't stomp them. You can't stomp on their Achilles. You can't punch them in the throat. You can't do all these things that I would certainly do if somebody were attacking me. So, right off the bat, I'd get my BJJ guy say, well, if I were attacked, I would be able to do those things. I would do those things. But you're telling me BJJ is the ultimate in self-defense, and now you've got to add Krav Maga to it to make it effective on the street. These arguments we can just go around and around with. My big point is, who's good at violence? Who knows what they're doing with violence? Well, the scumbags. When the scumbags attack people, they don't, take them to the ground and put them in an arm bar. They don't do a heel hook. When you read about scumbags attacking, oh, I've got a lot of videos. Scumbags attacking a woman that wants their money, wants to do them harm. It's a blitz. They come full bore with pressure, throwing haymakers, throwing knees, throwing kicks. That's what works for them. Rory Miller has one of his quotes is, generally whoever goes balls to the wall first wins a fight. So truly, the scumbags are using violence as a weapon. They are perfecting violence. And the violence that they are using, generally, if you watch the videos, whether it's a knife or just fist, they blitz. They come forward with hatred, rage. They destroy what's in front of them. Hence, when I'm teaching people to defend themselves, we use the same tactic. If the scumbags are going to use violence as a weapon, we're going to take that weapon of violence and perfect it. So we're teaching people to go forward with hatred and rage, do the maximum amount of damage in the minimum amount of time, and then go be safe. Get out of there. You know, my BJJ guys, when you're wrapped up on the ground, you can't escape very quickly, and especially females. Well, especially everybody, but especially when I teach self-defense for women, they're not fighting to win. They are fighting to escape. Hit this idiot as hard as you can, break something, and get the heck out of there. You know, I keep going back to the women. A couple of blogs ago, I talked about, you know, I've got a woman, she has 2 daughters, single mom. A scumbag home invader is going to get into her house this week. If you've read about home invasions, they're horrifying. You know, this scumbag truly intends to rape, murder, kill them all. And, you know, make the mom watch as he does it to the daughters. These are the scumbags that are out there. What are you going to teach her? I'm going to teach her to kick this guy in the groin as hard as she can, grab his hair, knee him in the throat, get him on the ground, and stomp on his skull. I'm going to teach her to find a chair, break it over his head, take one of those pieces of wood that are left and shove it down his throat. This is what I'm going to teach her to survive. And, you know, again, what are my BJJ instructors going to teach her? To take him to the ground, patiently, you know, control him until they can put him in an arm bar. Just think of the logic behind that. We need to teach her to be an animal, to go off like crazy, to throw haymakers, to go maximum damage. That's what's going to get her through that horrible time. You know, again, not patiently controlling this guy who's much bigger, much stronger, who's a scumbag that is well-versed in violence. So again, I'm truly not putting BJJ down at all. I'm just saying if you are going to a gym to learn self-defense, we need more than that ground stuff. You know, my BJJ friends, every time they want to show me some awesome technique, I say, oh, let's go out on the pavement. Let's go out on the parking lot. What? Hey, if I'm going to be attacked, it's not going to be in here on these mats. It's going to be out there, you know, on the parking lot. And there's no real good position. Even if you take the mount, the guy's bucking, your knees are slamming into the pavement, you're becoming a hamburger. Can you use the stuff on pavement? Well, of course you can. Do you want to? Yeah, no, neither do I. So again, just points on what self-defense is. We teach people, again, to have a switch. To go from overwhelmed, confused, terrified to going forward with hatred and rage. To do the maximum amount of damage in the minimum amount of time and get to safety. Almost the exact opposite philosophy of BJJ. Now, I expect lots of comments. Rather than cussing at me and calling me an idiot because I put down something that you love, refute the points. Refute these points why I'm wrong. That way we can start a discussion. We can become safer. People reading our comments can become safer. You know, we can educate each other. Rather than, I'm an idiot. This is Mark Slane, United States Krav Maga Association. Be safe.